Good evening, Drew.
Ask me why I'm late.
Why are you late?
Because I can't stop pooping.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I don't know what happened. I truly feel that at this point I can say that there is definitely still something fundamentally wrong with my belly.
Mm.
I haven't really I've been sort of battling some stomach stuff for the last couple of days, but what happened is last night I had my being a good citizen class.
Okay.
And they have pizza there. Like
Mhm.
that's their thing. They serve pizza every one of these things, and they're once a week. Now,
Nothing wrong with some za. Yeah.
nothing wrong with some pizza. But as somebody who's trying to watch his figure, I
Mhm.
don't eat a lot of pizza anymore.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a treat if I get to
Okay.
have pizza. Now, they have said that because pizza is one of those things that I think is pretty universal. You can serve pizza a million different ways that meets
Mhm.
most people's dietary requirements, whether it's, gluten-free or, if you're boring like me and you just like cheese and pepperoni, or you like fancier shit on your pizza like mushrooms. Uh
Gross.
yeah, fungus doesn't belong on anything. I think we can all agree.
Mhm.
It's a crowd pleaser. So what they have committed to for this class is they are going to have pizza every week, but
Okay.
they are going to get it from a different place every time.
Oh, well, that's clever. That's cute.
Clever. So
Yeah.
week one we had Dewey's,
Let me
which
guess. All local Dublin establishments.
I mean, I
No.
think that's the intent.
Okay.
I don't know how they're going to get to that many.
Okay.
Um, so the first week we had Dewey's, which, if I'm being 100% open and transparent and honest, 'cause that's what we're all about here, I think Dewey's is probably the most overrated thing you can buy in the pizza space. I don't get it. I don't think it's very
Yeah.
good.
It's
People go
funny.
crazy for it here. It's
Yeah.
always packed.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. The best pizza, the best pizza that Dublin ever had was this place called Rotolo's. Rotolo's was the absolute best. And for a period of time, they used to have like a bunch of Rotolo's places, but I think there's only one left. Wow, it just goes straight to order pickup when you come to this website, huh?
Hmm.
Boy, how the mighty have fallen.
That's mighty presumptuous of them, I guess.
Yeah, they had the best pizza. They were right in Avery Square. I used to eat that pizza once a week.
Mm.
It was so fucking good, man. Square cut, onions in the cheese, like it was just so fucking good. They sort of consolidated. There's only one Rotolo's left in all of Columbus, and I think it's in like Grandview, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, that was the best pizza. But anyway, they had Dewey's the first week, and they had Donato's last night.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, that's okay. That's
it's
pizza.
a choice. It's a
Yep.
choice. I had never had Donato's before moving to Columbus. I remember the first time I got my hands on that pretzel crust. I thought it was pretty good. My tastes have evolved over the years. Definitely not for me. But it's pizza. Now,
Yeah.
now, Paul,
Mm-hmm.
you've been in Ohio a long time. I'm sure you've had your fair share of Donatos.
Yeah, yeah. I've eaten Donatos. Yeah.
Describe.
My daughter loves it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you think it's better than the gas station pizza you get?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you
No.
sort of close your eyes and you walk into your mind palace and you think about Donato's,
Okay.
describe a Donato's pizza to me.
Well, the canonical Donato's pizza is a thin crust, edge to edge topping, so there's no crust on the outside. It is what they call party cut, which is cut into not triangles or whatever they like circle
Squares.
segments. Yeah, they're cut into squares.
Rhomboids.
Yeah, smaller pieces.
Party cut is just a fancy way of saying get extra napkins.
yeah, and that's a canonical Donato's pizza. I mean, they usually.
What are some other characteristics?
Other characteristics.
Yeah, other characteristics of the pizza. Keep going.
I Other characteristics of the pizza. I mean, it's thin crust and party. I don't know what you're getting at, Drew.
Yeah, thin crust, right? Like
Yeah,
thin crust is the thing.
I said thin crust.
Oh, you did?
That
Oh,
was the
okay,
first
my
thing I
bad.
said.
Okay,
That was the
okay.
first thing I said.
I've been pooping a lot.
Jeez.
I'm low on fluids. I'm dehydrated.
Oh.
Okay, listen. So they lay out the spread last night, and they always get a salad too, which bless, right? Like, I'm not. It's not there for me.
Oh.
And plus, like, they give you like the shittiest dressings.
Pizza place salad is never good.
Yeah, unless you're ordering from like an Italian restaurant that also happens to serve pizza.
Yeah.
Maybe. So they lay out all the pizzas. You got your, veggie pizzas for the weirdos. You've got pepperoni pizza for just salt of the earth guys like me. You got some other pizzas that are laying around in there. So I'm flipping through the boxes, going down the line as one does, and I get to the pepperoni.
Okay.
And the crust does not look as thin as normal.
Okay. Well,
now
they have multiple styles now.
Yeah.
Okay.
This just like this is old man yells at cloud territory, right? Like I don't know why they have to fuck with what works.
Okay.
I definitely don't like their new logo. So I believe the style of crust. I just want to look at a menu. I shouldn't have to tell you where I am.
In fact, my daughter likes their hand tossed.
I don't know
which is more of a traditional. Yeah.
Okay, so boy, I would love it if they could just show me a picture.
No, you have to pick a place and say.
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Menu. Okay. I went to menu and order.
Okay.
Can I just see a picture?
So there are they have 5 options now. Okay.
Yep.
They have the famous thin.
Right.
They have thicker, which is I believe what you encountered.
Yeah.
They have hand tossed, which is more of your traditional pizza. They have a cauliflower crust and a gluten-free crust.
All right. I believe I don't know because I can't see a goddamn picture of what the difference is here. Yeah. I believe I had the thicker. So I had like probably 4 pieces. We don't say slices when we're talking party cut. I had like 4 pieces of pizza and a glass of water. After the session, right? After so this is between the hours of 6 and 9 p.m. Afterwards, I had 1 drink.
Okay.
And I came home. Last night at about 2 a.m, I felt like somebody had stabbed me in the tummy.
Oh no.
Yeah. I haven't felt this bad since I had my appendix out. And it has just been a nonstop poop fest. Like my butt hurts. My butt hurts now. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was something I ate. I don't know if it was the ragged combination of bad pizza plus really good bourbon. I don't know what did this to me, but that's the story of why I was late.
Now, do you have like when you have an upset tummy? Do you have like a go-to like remedy? Do you drink some ginger ale? Do you take some Peptid?
So I have a couple. Okay. Usually, when I have what I like to term sour stomach, Tums are usually my go-to. But this was different. This was advanced tummy ache because
lower tummy.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily tummy. It was like intestine. Have you ever had like really bad gas that hurts?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it was like that kind of stabby shooty pain. Now I have had stomach and gastrointestinal problems for the last 15 to 20 years of my life, and I have things that doctors have prescribed me. I have had surgery for an issue that I had there. So every time some of this stuff happens, I let myself feel terrible for about 24 hours before I react. I don't necessarily run to an urgent care or an ER. I was pretty damn close this morning. Like it was some serious pain. At this point, it could be like a flare up of something else that I've had before, or it could be an ulcer. But I'm not having some of the symptoms I would expect that without getting too graphic for this family podcast, right? I don't want to describe my movements. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out. I hate Pepto-Bismol.
Okay.
I think that if it was a tummy ache, I could do that. I don't necessarily know if it helps with like intestinal stuff. And I know that I just said that I take Tums for this kind of thing. Yes, but like all I had to eat today is for breakfast. I tried to eat like a breakfast bar. I was not hungry. Lunch, I started to get hungry, and I had like a bowl of pho because I just wanted some noodles. And then literally all I ate for dinner tonight was just a big bowl of noodles. Like I'm just trying to get some mass to pass through here and get this shit figured out.
Nothing too confrontational for the stomach.
No. I could have had my usual chicken and veggies and things like that, but I'm just like, you know what? Like we need to like lay down a base. Like we really need to just let this like. So here's a hot tip.
Okay.
Right. If you don't learn anything else from this podcast, do you know what the best laxative is?
No, that's generally not a problem I'm looking to solve. Okay.
A glass of salt water.
A glass of salt water. Okay.
That is like Roto-Rooter for your intestines because your body can't digest it, right? It's your body's not set up to digest salt water. So, and I'm not suggesting you drink a huge 8-ounce glass of salt water. Please don't do that. You will throw up. But like if you drink, you know, a little like a little, I don't know, a couple ounces of salt water, that will absolutely push everything out of you. It is a great way to do some cleansing. Anyway, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Yep. I have a lot to talk about. I don't want this to be a Drew-a-thon. Do you want to go first?
No, I want to hear about your new job, man.
Okay, so it's week 1.
It's week 1. Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's like first day of school. Mm-hmm. Listen, everything's cool. Like everybody I'm working with is cool. My boss is cool. You know, it definitely has kind of that startup vibe, even though they've been around for a couple of years, right? They're in this rapid growth phase. It genuinely reminds me of when I joined you at where you work now, because there was a period of time there where the theme was fix the core. And yeah, it was an established company, and you know, there was business happening and people were making money, and that was great. But there was a mandate to like, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna fix a bunch of stuff. We're gonna reinvent it. We're gonna like retire a bunch of stuff. We're gonna, you know, that sort of attitude was so refreshing after working at a place that didn't innovate for like 30 years. So I don't know. It has that kind of vibe right now for me, and that's cool. That's like cool. That's intoxicating. It's addicting to feel that way. You know, it's just been a whole week of watching videos, right? Like required training, and like because I'm new, I have to do like the regular required training, like the compliance and sexual harassment and all like discrimination, like the stuff that you have to do a couple times a year probably, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of that. You know, day 1 was attending some meetings and doing a bunch of paperwork and, you know, going through the onboarding stuff. But then by kind of late day yesterday, which is Wednesday, I had gotten through all of that stuff and I was really focusing on like all the new onboarding required training. And, you know, look, I'm coming in as somebody who has worked with this product extensively in a very, very popular cloud platform based on where I was working before. So do I need to go through like Databricks 101 boot camp? No. Right. Like I understand how it works, and I understand how we deploy it and how it's positioned and what its features are and like the direction and where we want it to go and what it competes against. Like that isn't new stuff to me. And even then there's a ton of overlap with how my role was at Microsoft versus what it is here. Right. So because the role I'm in is both pre and post sales, like there's like a, you know, how to be a good salesman type classes. Right. And it's different, but it's not, you know. So it's just getting through all that stuff. But I have a really good boss. I was assigned like an onboarding buddy or mentor that, she seems super nice. I've already sort of jumped in and helped, even though there's like no expectations, right? I'm going to talk about this when we talk about workflows, but I'm so glad to be back on Slack. Holy shit. I
Okay.
forgot how good Slack is, man. Not for nothing, right? I was a big Teams boy for a while, but they're two completely different things, and
Mhm.
Teams ain't it. I'm sorry. Like, it's just not. But I'm in some of the channels there, and I'm helping people with like Azure questions, or helping people with like Spark code and stuff. So long story short, it's been a good productive week. I feel welcome. I feel like, I'm still nervous, and change is hard, and stuff like that, but it's going in the right direction. I feel pretty good about it. The company feels cool. There's basically, like you said, right? This whole month is just it's just a write-off. It's just
Oh yeah, at
get to know
least.
everybody,
Yeah.
take your training, don't rush into anything. And I ran into the same problem when I joined Microsoft, because I went from a production support role, which was like go 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 all the time, to we'll get you customers, just chill out. And I just remember sitting there some days, and I would find ways to like entertain myself or go learn something, and that's kind of what I'm doing now to some extent. But you can't feel like I'm really, you're gonna pay me for this? Shouldn't I be like shouldn't I be doing something? But that's not how it works. So thankfully it isn't my first rodeo with that. I got to sort of adjust to that in my last role, but still,
Yeah.
that's where things are at now. So let's talk new job workflows.
Yes.
Okay. It couldn't be more different than my than my previous job.
Okay.
So last job, obviously, because of where it worked, where I worked, that was, yes, I was able to use my Mac, and I do have a new Mac for this job. I'll talk about that whole saga in a minute. I believe I talked about it last week. And
did it come in time?
It did.
Okay, good.
It
good,
did.
Good.
So I'll talk all about that in a minute. But I went from an Office 365 environment to a G Suite company. I went from a Teams collaboration thing to Slack. We went from Teams meetings to Zoom meetings and Google Meet. There's just a lot. And I know. I think a lot of us use Google for our day-to-day stuff. But when you have a particular workflow for so long, and scheduling meetings and everything, like you have to like retrain your brain that that's not how it works anymore. Now, that is a great segue into sort of where I'm at in trying to discover what is the best way to sort of operate here. So let me set the stage for you. MacBook Pro M1, 16-inch.
Okay.
Space gray, proper color. So this is very much a work laptop. Now, unlike my previous job, where I had to enroll the device to be Intune managed, which means policies were pushed down to it, this is my first experience with a Mac that basically arrived pre-configured and set up for single sign-on.
Oh, nice.
So what was interesting is when I received the laptop, cracked it open, there's a nice little letter in there that says, hey, welcome to Databricks. Please don't set up your laptop until you get your login credentials from Okta. And I'm like, okay. So the laptop sort of sat on the floor of my office for a couple days. The Friday night before I started, I received my login credentials. So I opened up the laptop, and at first it seemed like I was setting up a brand new Mac, right? It was literally the same process.
Okay.
But then I got to the login page, and I had to use single sign-on, which means I had to download the Okta app for my phone and associate that with my Okta account. I had to log into Okta on like a separate device and reset my password. Like, the instructions were very clear. And then once I was able to do that and finish the Mac setup, it rebooted. And then it said, Databricks is configuring your Mac. So it was like downloading and installing a bunch of stuff like on first login. So like endpoint managers, antivirus, required applications, like all of that was sort of being streamed down to the Mac. And I've never seen that done with a Mac before. I've seen it with PCs, right? Being, imaged, or, logging in and having group policy push stuff to you. I had never seen this happen on a Mac before. So that was kind of new to me.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I was able to get only so far because I didn't want to spend my first day setting everything up. Like, I wanted to sort of like get onto the system, get access to email, get access to Slack, so I could just like show up on Monday and start working, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
But I hit a wall
Okay.
because other than signing into Okta, when I would try to access anything else, it would prompt me for a biometric login. Now, I'm not signed into this Mac with my Apple ID. I could. I think that I could. And I think there's some debate of whether or not I should. But right now I'm not, because this is very much a work. This very much feels like a work laptop. And I'm not in a rush to like sign into a bunch of stuff on it with my account, with my personal accounts, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I would try to like use my fingerprint, which I set up, I went into system preferences, I set up Touch ID, like I did all that stuff. Anytime I would try to do that, it would give me like an unknown error. And I'm like, okay, something isn't right here. And I decided that, you know what, I was able to get into Google. I was able to like open up email. I didn't like read a whole bunch of it or anything, but I was able to get into email, and I felt like that was a good stopping place.
Yeah. Okay.
So then
like maybe there's something you're missing, or something's not configured on the back end.
Yeah,
maybe something hasn't synced. Yeah.
Yeah. They have to flip a switch on Monday on my start date. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right. So Monday rolls around. I get up bright and early. I come downstairs. I finish putting the computer where it needs to go. I have to like pair my AirPods to it and put my keyboard and my mouse and hook up my monitor. Right. That takes me all of like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm signed in. My first meeting is at like 10 a.m. Like, hey, new hire orientation takes place at this time or whatever. Some people were in person. A lot of us were remote. And they're like, how many of you have received a package today? And here's the interesting thing. Last week, I mentioned to you that I had a FedEx tracking notification.
You did, yes. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is when my laptop arrived, it did not arrive via FedEx.
Oh, you had another package coming.
My shipment of my laptop arrived on Friday, thankfully, when I was home, and because I had to sign for it. But that arrived to UPS. I received another package like right at 9:30 on the dot on Monday.
Huh.
And it was a very, very small little package.
Okay.
And inside were 2 YubiKeys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is very much, I have moved from multi-factor apps on my phone to YubiKeys.
Yes, I have a YubiKey. I like it a lot. Yeah.
I have a YubiKey as like a backup login mechanism for most of my stuff. I use my phone for pretty much all my MFA stuff in my personal life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but my
YubiKey is just for work. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a YubiKey that is like a backup emergency way to get to Google.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. So like I have that for one of my personal lives. Now, they sent me 2. They sent me the long boy, and they also sent me the tiny little guy that just like takes up one little like USB port. Have you ever seen one of those little boys?
What I personally have right now for my MacBook is like the little tiny USB-C, super slim thing that just kind of fits in there, and hardly takes up any room. Yeah.
Let me see if I'll put a link in the show notes to people that care. The YubiKey 5 series. Okay. Here, I'll just put this link in here. That link in the show notes will take you to it. It is the YubiKey 5C Nano is what I have.
Oh, yours is even small. Okay, yeah, no, right. I have the 5C Nano. Yes, that's exactly what I have.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I have.
And you're right. It literally is just nice and snug. It goes right up against it. I mean, you lose a USB-C port. I mean, and whatever.
Yeah.
But it has those like little tiny copper pieces that you put your finger on, and it like sends your key info to whatever prompt is asking for it. And it's great. It's totally great. And like for me, for the way it works is most of the time I have to use the YubiKey. There are some things that I can authenticate MFA for, but for the most part, I have to physically touch this. And YubiKeys are great, right? Because it basically validates that, you know, there is literally a person in front of a computer that has access to this thing that you're trying to access.
Yeah.
So that is big workflow change number 1. Now, I have to lean a little further than my Touch ID. because I put it on the left side of my laptop. I don't know if that's permanent. But I have to lean a little further to touch it. But title. I'm sure
that's a good title.
They'll lean a little. Wait, what should it be? Lean a little further, or I'm sure they'll touch it. What do you think? Might be a Dame time decision.
Why would you're so good at the titles, Drew? Why would I? How could I dare?
Because Paul, we're a team. Yeah. We're a team, buddy. Anyway, so that's big workflow change number 1. Now, here's my other workflow problem. Mm-hmm. I think G Suite is universally accepted that they have a perfectly cromulent user interface. Like if you are very good with keyboard shortcuts, you can fly through Gmail, you can fly through Gcal, and those are the two main things that there's also a Google Groups component to this, but for the most part, it's Gmail and Calendar and Drive are how I sort of live my life now. There's a little bit of a learning curve there just because I haven't been like a quote unquote power user of those apps. Okay. Right. When it's just Drew banging out emails at home, it's like web app and, close the browser, but this is now corporate email, right? I've never had to use G Suite in that capacity before. So it's a little bit of a learning curve for me to get up to speed with that. But here's my problem. I don't want to have to leave a web app up all the time.
I get, okay. Yeah.
So I did what any rational, good Mac user would do. I added my Google account to my Mac, and I use Mail, and I use Calendar. Mail is perfectly fine. Calendar is, nope, that's not going to work. I have tried a couple times to make that work. Syncing issues aside, not a great experience trying to join a meeting from the iCal software. So I come to you tonight, Paul, for recommendations. I need a good calendar app, or should I just tough it out and adapt to the app, the web app?
I used to use this. I have not used it in a very, very, very long time, but pulling on my vast podcast knowledge, I would say to look at what Fantastical, if I can find it, Fantastical calendar on the App Store. I don't think I want an App Store link, do I?
Fantastical, the calendar and task app. You won't be able to. It's made by FlexBits.
FlexBits, yes, FlexBits, yes.
One Fantastical, all your devices works seamlessly across Mac, Apple Watch.
I believe it's pronounced Fantastical because they're leaning on the calendar. Fantastical.
I like my way better. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. How much? How much?
I don't know.
Per month?
Well, I'm sorry about that.
I don't want to pay for a server. I want to buy an app.
Well, it's billed annually at least, so
per month billed annually. Why do we do this? Individuals. Okay, well, it looks like I'm buying something tomorrow.
Okay. This is a place that I really haven't played in very much on the Mac. I kind of like for my personal stuff, I just kind of deal with Mail and Calendar. Though I feel you're paying with Calendar. It's just not good. It's not good.
I'm learning, right? I have not had to manage a calendar at the scale that I'm managing at for work. I mean, I obviously book our podcast through here. Mm-hmm. I set up reminders for birthdays and other events that I have in my personal life. But listen, I'm a pretty boring guy. So like my personal calendar is not full at all. But when you're trying to juggle like 8 hours worth of meetings in it, I'm deficient. I'm deficient.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing you have to give Microsoft credit for is like Outlook is pretty good.
Yeah, and by the way, that's on the table.
I was saying, yeah, like Outlook is an option, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. Like I have access to Office 365 still. I could download the app and put it on there. Mm-hmm. But if I'm being completely honest, I don't know. I have a pretty bad taste in my mouth with Outlook on the Mac. And I
Okay.
don't think that's Outlook's fault. It's just that when I was working at Microsoft, they had us on the fast ring release channel. So
Mm.
like literally every day I'd have a new version of Outlook. And that is just like that is like going to school every day and having the bully take your lunch money every goddamn day because you get the pop up like, hey, there's a new version of Outlook, and I'm like, I just want to reply to some email. Anyway, that's on the table too, and maybe I do that. But I would love like a native Mac app that looks pretty good. I'm really encouraged by Fantastical. Um,
So, and if you're looking for a Gmail focused Mac client, I would recommend. I want to put a link in here to this because the name is awful. It's an app called MimeStream, which is just literally the worst name
Mime
at
Stream.
MimeStream. But apparently this is like if you want a desktop app that has all the power of Gmail, and it's not just like a generic email client that you can sync with Gmail. Like it supports all the Gmail stuff. Apparently this is the boy to use. So
Mime Stream is free for a limited time during beta.
yeah.
When will this app cost money?
Mm.
Well, you okay?
Is that in the FAQ?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this looks very close to what Mail looks like.
Yes, but apparently it actually works well with Gmail. So, and I assume it works with like G Suite stuff as well. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Maybe what I'll do tomorrow, because it's going to be kind of a slow day, is I definitely want to give Fantastical a spin, and it looks like if you pay for it, it looks like you could just use it everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's tied to a specific login.
Well, one of the things they don't so much advertise this anymore because it's kind of like everybody has it. But like when Fantastic House started, like their claim to fame was like natural language processing. So you could say, "Hey, schedule an appointment with Drew for lunch at such a place at 7," and it would like parse that and like make you an appointment. And it's still a really good feature of Fantastic how it does that really well. But yeah.
So it looks like there is a premium and a regular. Does it tell me what the differences are?
One's free, one's not.
Well, what's the premium features?
Well, there's a if you scroll down, hold on. Go to the pricing tab. Go to the pricing tab, and then there's a little matrix of features.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calendar sets, one set. Okay, well, I'm already in the premium tier. Yeah, I would say that the number one thing that's disrupting my workflow right now for meetings is if somebody includes a Google Meet link or a Zoom link in the calendar, like in the calendar invite, there doesn't appear to be a way for me to click those things in iCal to open them.
That's dumb.
Yeah, it's like it just barfs like all the it just like barfs the entire contents of the invite into like a little modal pop up, and I don't nothing works. Customization, scheduling, securely request time. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Home screen widgets, Apple Watch support, interesting calendars. What? Anyway, I don't know.
But look, collaboration, Google Meet, Zoom, WebEx, and Microsoft Teams support in the premium right there. Bam.
God damn it.
Bam, right there it is. There it is.
Yep.
Automatic conference call link detection, single click join button and menu bar item. See, that's what you need right there. Right there.
Maybe this will be a business expense.
There you go.
Yeah, we need to write that off. Oh, that reminds me, I had to get my fucking taxes done.
I still got to do that too. Yeah.
I'm working with a very nice old man to do mine because like I was fumbling through mine and I was just like, no, this is the year I need help.
Yeah. I've yeah. I remember one year. Speaking of taxes, we're like. I have like a health spending account, but there was a point where I didn't have enough money into it. So like I paid out of pocket, then I paid myself back out of the HSA, which is which is a totally legit thing you can do. And I had all the documentation, but TurboTax was like, you owe all the money.
Right.
And I'm like,
right.
I think you don't support this yet. Yeah. I had to go somewhere and be like, fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at from a workflow perspective, but I
Mhm.
mean everything else works. Like I got the Opal set up on it. You know,
Okay.
everything is working perfectly fine.
Cool, cool, cool,
So,
cool.
yeah, it's just an adjustment period. Like I said, I don't have like my social media or my personal mail in there. I also didn't put one password on it, so in the off chance that I do need to sign into something, I will, have to like open it up on my phone or something.
Like
And
an
I
animal.
and I still have a work phone. That's where I have like my authenticator and stuff linked to. I keep all that stuff separate. And I was able to set up my Gmail on there. I did not set up Slack mobile yet. I don't know if I want to do that, but anyway, that's the history of my first
Mhm.
week at work. So tomorrow's Friday, and we'll get through that. And
Woo.
yep, cool. All right, let me shut up for a little bit. What the hell am I looking at here?
Okay, so speaking of Mac apps, I've started to use a new one. So, Drew, you're a Mac user. I assume you're familiar with Spotlight on a Mac.
Oh, love Spotlight.
Okay, you hit Command Space, you can type and do stuff. You can launch apps, you can find stuff. I haven't used Spotlight in forever. I use there's a line of products they tend to be called like launchers, and they're designed to be Spotlight replacements. So instead of when you hit Command Space, instead of Spotlight happening, you launch another app. I've been a big Alfred user for a very long time. I've been very happy with Alfred. Uh, but there's a new boy on the scene in this space, and it's called Raycast. So the idea is you download Raycast, you run it, you can. I just bind it to Command Space because that's where my brain is, and to me it's what Spotlight does. But uh, it's it is really nice. And what's nice about it, Drew, is so obviously, like it can do everything that Spotlight can do. You can do file searches. You can search for an application. You can do basic arithmetic. You can kick off like a Google search. But it also has this extensibility solution. What do they call it? They call it the Raycast store. And like, I mean, Alfred's had this kind of stuff too, but it's called workflows and it's really janky and it's hard to understand. And but like what is beautiful is like, hey, like I wonder if Raycast integrates with Bear. And I just hit Command Space and then I type store and I hit enter. And I don't leave Raycast. I'm still in Raycast. And then I just do a search for Bear. It's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And I can hit enter to show the details and I can look at all the commands. Like, oh, that's exactly what I want. And I just hit, action, I just install that sucker and boom, suddenly I have a bunch of like Bear, which is my note-taking app of choice, built into Raycast. And it's fast, it's clean looking. There's so many different extensions out there. It's great that you don't have to leave the application to use them. It's got like this little like onboarding process where like it shows you the features, and of course, it does that like right inside the application, just the way you normally did. It would just show up as like a suggestion. Uh, I think it's really cool. The one thing there's a catch, Drew. There's a catch. Uh, they are VC funded and targeting the enterprise market. So for personal use, it's free. There's no way to give them money. It's free. It's free. If you want to like collaborate with the team, then it costs money. Uh, I would gladly give them like $50 a year to help support their business model, but that's not what they're doing right now. That's not what they're focusing on. So I'm just here to say like, hey, like if you're still using Spotlight, just download Raycast and give it a try. It's pretty great. I've been really happy with it so far.
So I'm torn on this.
Mm-hmm.
I love Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
I hit Command Space probably 100 times a day.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I love that, and it makes my heart hurt when I see people open their applications folder like a savage to launch something. that isn't on their bar, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I hate that. I hate it so much.
mm-hmm.
It's to me, it is the most basic of workflows that I touch every goddamn day.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
look at
okay.
and I think I might have bounced hard off of Alfred. Maybe I
Mm.
didn't understand it, but I look at this and I don't know if this is for me.
Okay, okay.
Maybe I'll try it on my personal Mac first to see what it can do. Like
Yeah.
I'm scrolling through the page here and it's like, "Oh, look at a pull request or
Yeah, yeah.
submit
You
to."
can you can integrate with GitHub, anything you want to do. Like I love it for like Google Translate. I can just, type translate, hit enter, and then type what I want to do, and it figures it all out.
Yeah.
What else? Like I said, Bear. That's what I search my Bear notes. I create notes from there. It's got a clipboard manager built into that as well, so I can just type, clip, enter, and I get my entire clipboard history. Uh,
Wow.
I have a actually the thing that I use the worst. I don't know if you know this about me, Drew, but I'm an awful speller. I spell horribly. Uh, and I have found that sometimes I spell so badly that autocorrect is just like, fuck you, red squiggle boy. But Google's usually pretty good at it. So I have some extensions built in where I can type I type SP because I have a shortcut to it because I use it all the time. I hit enter, I mangle the word, and then it's like, is it one of these 8 things? And I'm like, that's the one I want. And I hit down, enter, and then it just pastes that word where my cursor was before I launched Raycast. I don't have to hit paste. It's just like, you want to put that word exactly where your cursor was, didn't you? Like, yes, I do. And then it does it.
Well,
It's
I had to go through the same setup that I always go through with Spotlight on this Mac, and that is with the absolute best intentions. Spotlight tries to search things that I will never want to search. Right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never want it to search the internet. I never want it to search certain locations on my computer. Right? So like Spotlight, I go hard on the Spotlight search configuration. So I will give this a shot. I'm not, other than Spotify and maybe what I'm about to talk about next, I don't know what else I would use it with unless it has integration with some of these other apps that we just talked about.
It might. That's the beautiful thing. You just go in there and you type store, and then you start searching. Let's see what they got for Google. Google Workspace, Google Drive, Google Meet, Google Books. Google has books. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So I guess it has like Google Drive stuff, which I guess makes sense for like searching
Yeah.
stuff in Google Drive. But yeah. I know. I just really like it. Like I'm like you. Like, to me, command space is how I start doing stuff with the Mac. And while Spotlight is great, and I encourage everybody, if you're not using Spotlight, just start using it.
Absolutely.
But I like a little bit more out of it, and I think like I said, I've been using Alfred for as long as I can remember. And I recently just switched to Raycast, and I've been really happy with it so far.
Cool. But you reminded me of something that I meant to mention in my workflow discussion is I have become a big Obsidian user.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah. Well, part of the reason is, right, I would have used Bear. I like Bear very much. But I don't pay for Bear.
Okay.
So I wanted and again, I feel like the only way you can get Bear is through the App Store.
Yeah, and it syncs through
iCloud,
iCloud
right?
Drive. Yeah, so if you don't have that enabled, you're host.
So not being signed into this computer, and I have used Obsidian here and there, but I have basically fully adopted that as my like native note taking application at this point.
How do you like it?
It's perfectly fine. I mean, it has more features than Bear, right? I mean, I can do like diagrams and things like that. And I'm not a power user of Obsidian at all. But if you want a pretty cool, free to use note taking app for your Mac that lets you organize your thoughts and your notes and your to dos and all that other stuff, you could do a hell of a lot worse.
Okay.
I mean, it's perfect. It's Obsidian, it's fine. TM, like it's good.
Ugh.
All right. Last couple things to talk about before we close this week. I'm really bad at following instructions, Paul.
Okay, what did you do?
I bought headphones.
Uh-oh. Did you buy a fucking pair of AirPods Maxes?
I did. So here's what happened.
Oh, Drew.
Here's what happened.
Okay.
Last week we were out shopping, and as one does, I was near an Apple store, so I wanted to go see them for myself.
Okay.
I went to the store and tried them on, and they felt nice.
Okay.
They felt nice. They felt
okay.
So, like right now, I'm wearing my 4th generation Sony wireless headphones.
Okay.
They're snug. They're they hug my head pretty good, as noise canceling headphones should. And they're made of plastic, and they're light. Don't get me wrong, but they feel like they hug my head a little too hard sometimes. And as someone who plays games for hours on ends, that could be like a bad thing. So I went to the Apple store, tried them on, and they didn't feel too bad. Maybe my head is just the perfect shape for them or not. I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. But I tried them on and they felt good. Now, my new work gives a stipend to buy headphones.
Okay.
And Micro Center had the AirPod Maxes on sale.
Okay.
They were on sale for like $100 off.
Okay. That's a better, I think that's still overpriced for them, but okay. Yep. What color did you get?
I got pink.
Okay.
Because, company boy now, the colors are red, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wanted something that if I was going to be on camera with them, I want to try to look the part.
Okay.
I think they're pretty good. Paul. They sound really good.
They sound good. Is there a butt coming?
Nope.
You like them? Are they comfortable? Can you wear them for long periods of time? Because I cannot.
I go back and forth. And by the way, this is another one of those things, right? Sneaky way to have this discussion. It sucks that if you're not signed into your Apple ID on something, trying to get your devices to work with it.
Oh yeah, I can't even imagine what that would like.
I mean, it's still pair. Like I can still pair it with Bluetooth manually.
Okay.
And for all intent and purpose, it gives me the same controls. Like it's smart enough to realize that it's an Apple device, and I still get like all the same stuff. But I have to like manually pair stuff with the computer, which that's a huge pain in the butt. But that's neither here nor there. They sound good. I wear them. Like I've been wearing them for several hours a day to like do my required training. Now, when I'm on a conference call, I switch to my AirPods just because I don't want these huge earmuffs on my head for calls.
Okay.
Especially if I'm on camera. Now, if I wasn't on camera, I would totally use these for conference calls. The battery life's been pretty good so far. I go back and forth with the noise canceling. I think the noise canceling is really good, but I like being able to hear if Rocky is coming up and down the steps.
Okay.
So I don't leave the noise canceling on all that much.
Okay. I never leave it on. I have to hear myself on my headphones when I talk.
Yes.
So for me, having that transparency mode helps a lot with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Transparency mode is pretty good. I've listened to quite a bit of Spotify on it. I've been listening to corporate training videos on it. I've been on some Zoom and like Google Meet calls with them. They're good. I'm learning the gestures. I mean, I like that there's a volume control right on it, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, I when I saw that those were on sale, I had to go out of pocket a little bit for these. Like my allowance didn't cover the full cost, but it covered like 3/4 the cost.
Okay.
So I figured for the $100 or so that I was going to pay, it was worth trying. And if I didn't like them, I would just take them back and get something else. But I'm pretty happy with them. And it's good. I also didn't realize it came with the bra.
Yeah, that's the case it comes with. That's the case.
I would have sworn that Apple would have made you pay extra for that.
Well, I mean, they might as well have because nobody would have bought. I mean, I guess it's awful. The case is awful.
It is weird. It's very awful. Weird. It's like a little push-up bra for your headphones.
It is. Yes. Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah. Mine is on the shelf, and it might not be on the shelf for much longer. It's probably just going to go in my work bag, and if I need to travel, that'll be the only time those headphones ever go into that thing.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, I like the way they sound. I just like after about an hour, I got to get them off of me. Like they hurt. I don't know why I kept them. I should have returned them, but no, I
Well, it's because you're a good you're a good consumer of Tim Apple.
I am, yeah. I mean, I don't want them to yell at me and say, why didn't you buy my headphones, Paul?"
Yeah.
I'm
Why
like,
didn't you do this, Paul?
but I did, sir. I did. Sorry, Tim Apple.
Sorry, Tim Apple. All right. Last thing I want to talk about is as part of my hard reset on job stuff.
Okay.
I have decided that I have too many cords on my desk.
Okay.
And I don't like the idea of plugging in, because like previously when I was using my personal Mac for work, when I needed to charge my phone or my watch, like those were plugged into either my monitor or my Mac and charging, and the computers were trusted and all that stuff. Well, that's not the case on the Mac desk right now.
Okay.
So I decided to invest in an all-in-one charger for my devices. And I wound up with the Belkin MagSafe 3-in-1 wireless charging pad.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Yes.
I put the name in there. I didn't put a link, did I?
Yeah. No, I got it. Because I was looking, because I was also getting the link to the one that I have.
Oh,
which is not this, but it's.
Sorry. Man, we're stepping on each other in here.
And here, I have the stand version of that.
Yeah. I remember we talked about this. So, listen, I'm actually pretty pleased with this thing. It was a little pricey.
Yeah.
I did not pay list price for this. Amazon had it on a slight discount.
Okay.
So this is designed for MagSafe. It will hold 3 devices. It will hold an iPhone. It will hold your AirPods and your watch. I was concerned because a lot of these I wasn't sure if the Ultra would fit. But this device is pretty clever. So if you scroll down this page a little, maybe not. If you look at the second picture,
okay,
you will notice. If you look, okay, better yet, look at the second and third picture.
Okay,
what's different between the two pictures?
Second and third. I'm scrolling down. Second and third picture. Well, one is a Apple Watch Ultra and one is not.
You must have different pictures than me.
Okay.
So what I'm getting at is it's basically like a little tray.
Oh, okay. I'm looking. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, the second and third. Does it pop up?
So it does. Now, not only does it pop up, Paul, but in order to fit the different watch sizes. So what I'm talking about here is if you're looking at the white little tray, and again, there'll be a link in the show notes.
I see the picture of the bottom.
Yeah. So you can adjust the height of that so that you can fit different watches, so you don't have to lay it across it and have your straps dangling like an animal. You can coil it and it will hold it in place to the size of your watch face.
That's kind of genius.
Yes. That's what sold me on this, because I like a nice tight charging pad.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. And it just plugs into the wall. I have 3 devices charging on it right now. I mean, I just don't like how hot the things get on them. They get a little warm when they sit on these pads for a while.
Yeah, I especially found I don't have this particular thing on my desk. I have it on my nightstand. I do have I have an Anchor MagSafe plus Qi charger thing that I have on my desk. I find that the AirPods, when they're Qi charging, get a little toasty. Like so much so, if I take them off the Qi charger and put them into my ear, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, nice and warm.
That's concerning, right? Yeah.
Now, we had this discussion. We've actually talked about your device, I think. Yeah, and you keep yours next to your bed, right?
Yes. That is my sleepy time device. Yep. Now,
did you end up covering the little LED?
I did. Yes. Yes. I can't stand that thing. It's too bright. Is this your first foray into official MagSafe accessories?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I mean, my car has a wireless charging pad that is MagSafe.
Okay.
Accredited. I don't know what the right word is. That I can put it in, but it charges too slowly and my phone gets way too hot in the crevice. So, fucking title. Um, I'm sure they get hot in the crevice. I have since resorted to just plugging in a cable and charging it that way in my car. But yeah, this is my first like official MagSafe stuff. I mean, unless you count the like wallet adapter for my phone.
I don't. I technically, but no, I don't.
Yeah.
Others might. I don't.
Yeah, I mean it's MagSafe in the fact that it is a magnet, but it is not providing charging or any kind of other capability.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, right? Because I have the iPhone XR and the iPhone whatever the current one is, and whenever I put my personal iPhone on it to charge, it's like I will align and be
Snap.
firm. Snap. The XR is like, yeah, wherever.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm good.
Yeah,
Put me
fine.
where you want, Daddy.
Close
like,
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that like Apple gave like MagSafe to like the Qi consortium.
Like, here you go.
Exactly. Here you go. Yeah. Like, please make devices that work with this because it's better. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. You don't have to worry about alignment. It stays. You can have fancy stands where they hover. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, mine is just to the like it's in between my computer and my monitor. It's minimalistic. It just has the one cable. I like that I can just it's a nice little resting place for my devices. And before I go to bed, I can put my Apple Watch Ultra on there if I'm not wearing it to bed, and it's good. It's really good. I'm very pleased with it.
Speaking of MagSafe, Drew, real quick, I switched cases again on my phone.
Oh, you did? Okay, where are we at now?
I'm using the official Apple Clear silicone case.
Clear silicone case. Is that different than the other clear case that we had?
It's just clear. It's clear. Yeah, it's clear. I'm back to the clear case.
Well, hold on. Whoa. Wait.
I think it's made out of silicone. It's the Apple Clear case. It's the clear case. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we had before. It showed all the filth.
Yeah.
And you hated it because the buttons didn't work.
I'm back to that. Well, this one does the buttons don't bug me as much on this one. They are definitely not as hard to press.
Did they change it?
I think they did a little bit. It's one of those things where like it feels when I first got it, it felt like way too slippery. Then after like a day of actually handling it, it got a lot better. I love the bottomless lifestyle where it doesn't have the bottom lip. I did that case that you bought, and I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it.
That's fine.
I couldn't take it. It was weird. It had weird bumps and ridges. I couldn't take it. It's like, no, you're gone. You're gone. Be gone.
Yeah. I made the mistake of clicking on a TikTok ad. For a case that looked pretty cool, and now every third TikTok is a different variation of that same phone case.
Oh.
Yeah. That'll fucking learn you.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Yep. One last quick thing, because I absolutely adore this. Do you watch any CGP Grey stuff?
I do not.
Yeah, so CGP Grey has a YouTube channel. He has really cool videos that he made. He made an utterly delightful thing. I saw many people that you and I both follow across social media tweet about this one. He made a really cool and very sweet video about about kids making state flags. He basically did a tier list of state flags.
Okay.
It's utterly delightful. Go watch it. It'll be a link in the show notes. I mean, I don't know. All his videos are good, but this one I've watched like 5 times, and I've like discovered something new every time, and I'm laughing just even thinking about it. Ohio got a B. So I'm happy about that.
I mean, I think it should be higher because we're a pennant. We're a pennant. God damn it.
He calls that out, and he has criteria about what makes a good flag, and that's how the video starts about like what a flag's purpose is and how it should work. Okay. And why so many state flags are just garbage.
I mean, ours kind of generic. Star, stripes, woo, America.
Oh no! Just watch the video. I think your perspective will change.
Okay, I will have to watch the video then. Okay.
All right. let's get out of here
Yeah.
before I poop my pants.
Yeah, go poop, Drew. Hey, we're on the internet, places, things. You can find us there. Yeah, look at the show notes on your podcast app. You'll find it. I'm lazy. Thanks for listening, everybody.